Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about my February TBR list. So I have a list of, well I actually have the physical right here, 10 books that I am going to try to read in February. Now if you've seen any of my TBR videos, blog posts, or Instagram posts before, you would know I don't always do great when I give myself these 10 book lists, but I am committed. We're gonna see what happens. So here are the 10 books that I would love to get through in February. And this is in no particular order, this is just the order they happen to be on my stool. So, this first one is You Say It First by Katie Cotugno. And how I do these videos is I will tell you the book. If it's not a sequel, I'll read you the description about it. So, I think if there's one conversation can change everything. That's the praise versus the description. Here we go. Meg has her entire life set up perfectly. She and her best friend Emily plan to head to Cornell together in the fall, and she has a sweet boyfriend and she works at a voter registration call center in her Philadelphia suburb. But everything changes when one of those calls connects her to a stranger from small town Ohio. Of the political process. So he says the worst thing he can think of and hangs up. But things don't end there. That night on the phone winds up being the first in a series of candid, sometimes heated, always surprising conversations that lead to a long-distance friendship and then slowly to something more. Across state lines and phone lines, Meg and Colby form a once-in-a-lifetime connection. But in the end, are they just too different to me? Next, we have Lily Reinhart's Swimming Lessons, which is a book of poems. And so this obviously just talks about, the description of this talks about how this is Lily Reinhart's first collection of poetry. And it talks just kind of like about her life through poems. So I'm really excited to read that. That is Swimming Lessons. Okay, next up, this has been on my TBR for forever, and that is Madeline Miller's The Song of Achilles. I'm obsessed with this cover. A tale of gods and goddesses, kings and queens, immortal fame, and the human heart. Achilles, the best of all the Greeks, son of a cruel sea goddess and legendary king, is strong, swift, and beautiful, irresistible to all who meet him. Patroclus is an awkward young prince exiled from his homeland after an act of shocking violence. Brought together by chance, they forge an inseparable bond despite risking the gods' wrath. They are trained by the centaur Chiron in the arts of war and medicine, but when word comes that Helen of Sparta has been kidnapped, all the heroes of Greece are called upon to lay siege to Troy in their name. Seduced by the promise of a glorious destiny, Achilles joins their cause, and torn between love and fear for his friend, Patroclus follows. Little do they know that the cruel fates will test them both as never before and demand a terrible sacrifice. So y'all know, I love my Greek mythology and adaptations of it, so I'm so excited to get to read this. Next is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This has been on my list for a little bit, and my friend Corey actually loaned me the sequel. It's down below, but I have not even read the first one yet, so that is obviously first up. So Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Oh, this one is a weird cover. Here we go. A legendary competition, a mesmerizing romance, an unbreakable bond between two sisters. Scarlet Dragna has never left the tiny island where she and her sister Tella live with their powerful and cruel father. Now Scarlet's father has arranged a marriage for her, and Scarlet thinks her dream of seeing Caraval, the faraway once-a-year performance where audience participates in a show, are over. But this year, Scarlet's long dreamt of invitation finally arrives. With the help of a mysterious sailor, Tella whisks Scarlet away to the show, only as soon as they arrive, Tella is kidnapped by the Caraval's mastermind organizer, Legend. It turns out that this season's Caraval revolves around Tella, and whoever finds her is the winner. Scarlet has been told that everything that happens during Caraval is only an elaborate performance, but she nevertheless becomes enmeshed in a game of love, heartbreak, and magic with the other players of the game. And whether Caraval is real or not, she must find Tella before the 5 nights of the game are over. A dangerous domino effect of consequences is set off, and her sister disappears forever. So that is Caraval. Next up we have Starcrossed by Minnie Dark. Why rely on fate when you can rewrite the stars? When Justine Carmichael bumps into her first crush, Nick Jordan, after a decade apart, she knows she can't leave her future happiness to chance. This time, she's going to give fate a helping hand. An aspiring journalist at a local magazine, Justine knows that Nick always reads his horoscope section. What harm could come from making a few alterations to the Aquarius entry over the next few weeks, just to push him in the right direction? Charting the ripple effects of Justine's astrological meddling, Starcrossed is a delicious, I can't read today, sorry, is a delicious, intelligent, and heartwarming love story about how we navigate the moments and choices that shape our lives. So, am I a big fan of astrology? Yes. Am I a fan of the idea of faking astrology to get a boy to fall in love with you? I mean, if it works, we'll see. Alright. Next up we have Super Fake Love Song by David Yoon. So, oh goodness, this is a, ooh, a map. I love it. Okay, sorry. When Sunny Day, self-proclaimed total nerd, meets Cirrus So, he can't believe how cool and confident she is. So when Cirrus mistakes Sunny's older brother Gray's bedroom with its electric guitars and rock posters for Sunny's own, he sort of kind of accidentally winds up telling her he's the frontman of a rock band. Before he knows it, Sunny is knee-deep in the lie. He ropes his best friends into a scheme, begging them to form a fake band with him, and starts wearing Gray's rock and roll cast-offs. But no way can you trick this amazing girl into thinking he's cool, right? Just when Sunny is about to come clean, Cirrus asks to see them play sometimes. Gulp. Now there's only one thing to do. Fake it till you make it. Sunny goes all in on the line. Pretty soon, the strangest things start happening. People are noticing him in the hallways, and he's going to football games and parties for the first time. He's feeling more confident in every aspect of his life, especially with Cirrus, who just started to become not just his dream girl, but also the real deal. Sunny is falling in love. He's having fun. He's even becoming a rocker, for real. But it's only a matter of time before Sunny's house of cards starts tumbling down. As his lies begin to catch up with him, Sunny Day is forced to wonder whether it was all worth it, and if it's possible to ever truly change. So that is Super Fake Love Song by David Yoon. Okay. Next up, we have Written in the Stars by Alexandra Bellefleur. So there's that. It appears to be set in my hometown. That appears to be the Space Needle. So let's see. Okay. After a disastrous blind date, Darcy Lowell is desperate to stop her well-meaning brother from playing matchmaker ever again. Love and the inevitable heartbreak is the last thing she wants, so she fibs and says her latest setup was a success. Darcy doesn't expect her lie to bite her in the ass. Elle Jones, one of the astrologers behind the popular Twitter account Oh My Stars, dreams of finding her soulmate, but she knows it is most assuredly not Darcy, a no-nonsense stick-in-the-mud who is always too analytical, punctual, and skeptical for someone like Elle. When Darcy's brother and Elle's new business partner expresses how happy it is that she and Darcy hit it off, Elle is baffled. Was Darcy on the same date? Because awkward. Darcy begs Elle to play along, and she reluctantly agrees to pretend they're dating, but with a few conditions. Darcy must help Elle navigate her own overbearing family during the holidays, and their arrangement expires on New Year's Eve. Love a good, like, fake it till you make it love story. I just finished Roomies by Christina Lauren vibe, obviously, because it ends up into, like, legal territory, that one, but I love a good fake it till you make it romance, so I'm excited to read that. 3 more. Next up, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This cover is just lovely. I'm obsessed. Reclusive Hollywood icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant to write her story, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Determined to use this opportunity to jumpstart her career, Monique listens in fascination. From making her way to Los Angeles in the 50s to leaving show business in the 80s, and of course, Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. But as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's own in a tragic and irreversible way. Alright, so that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Next, this one has been on several lists, and it's been a long time coming. Crave by Tracy Wolff. It's time to get back to some vampires. So I'm sure I've read this on the channel before, but we're gonna read this again. My whole world changed when I stepped inside the academy. Nothing is right about this place, or the other students here. Here I am, a mere mortal among gods, or monsters. I still can't decide which of these warring factions I belong to, if I belong at all. I only know that one thing that unites them all is their hatred of me. Then there's Jackson Vega, a vampire with deadly secrets who hasn't felt anything for 100 years. But there's something about him that calls to me. Something is broken in him that somehow fits with what's broken in me. Which could spell death for us all. Because Jackson walled himself off for a reason. And now someone wants to awake a sleeping monster. And I'm wondering if I was brought here intentionally as the bait. So that is Crave. I know most of you have read this. I am just behind on it, so I'm really excited. I also have Crush, the sequel, and then there's a third one coming out eventually. So I gotta get started. Alright, and then last on my TBR of 10 before I talk about one other book is How the King of Alpine Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black. This one probably won't take me very long. It seems very short. But I'm really excited about it because I did just finish the Folk of the Air series, which is the same world as this. Once upon a time, there was a boy with a wicked tongue. Before he was a cruel prince or a wicked king, he was a fairy child with a heart of stone. The #1 New York Times bestselling author, Holly Black, reveals a deeper look into the dramatic life of Elfheim's enigmatic High King Cardan. This tale includes delicious details of his life before the cruel prince, an adventure beyond the Queen of Nothing, and familiar but pivotal moments from the Folk of the Air trilogy, told wholly from Cardan's perspective. This new installment in the Folk of the Air series is a return to the heart-racing romance, danger, humor, and drama that enchanted readers everywhere. Each story is paired with a lavish and luminous full-color art, making this the perfect collector's item to be enjoyed by both audiences new and old. So, y'all know, I love me some Cardan. He's kind of the worst, but I also kind of love him, so I'm excited for some stories from his perspective. And this book is just like, so beautiful, so beautiful. So I'm really excited. Now there is an 11th book that will be on my TBR, and I'm just gonna pull some things out to make you guess what the mysterious 11th book might be. So the next installment of A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is A Court of Silver Flames, comes out in the middle of the month, the 16th. So that is obviously going to be on the TBR, and I'll probably devour it as soon as I get it. It is Cassian and Nesta's story. Now, y'all know, if you've heard me talk about the Court of Thorns and Roses series, I'm not a huge fan of Nesta. So I'm really excited to see if I actually like her in her own book. So that comes out February 16th, and that's the 11th book on this TBR, which I kind of think I'm gonna make a new theme, because 11 is my favorite number. If you all follow me on my Instagram, it's KaylaDanielle11. That's my favorite number. I was born in November, and it kind of just stuck. And so I think I'm gonna add an 11th, which is a new release, to every single one of these videos. So that is the secret number 11 for this month's TBR. So let me know in the comments what you're gonna be reading in February. Give this video a big thumbs up if you like it. Make sure you hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye!